First requirement. On the window close event, I want to make sure that the search results are cleared. For example, if you open a window, you add search results, and then you decide not to use them, then you open the window back up, the search results stick. I don't want that to continue. Please note that the job rad window close right here function is the proper place to put this request. Okay, here is requirement 2. If you'll notice, when you use the radius filter, search by radius, and you select a carrier, the radius filter stays up. I would like it to be hidden on selection. Also, I would like it to be hidden when the page is closed as well. Requirement 3. First, let's refresh the page to see the problem. Click Add Job or Unemployment Period. And you'll notice that the first job checkbox is there. It should be display none by default. Of course, if you put a higher date, that's the earliest date in its entire history, then the function that's already there should illuminate the row. Make sure that still works. Requirement 4. The trucking or the lock logic on the jobs form is not working when it is not a trucking job. For example, we're going to take this one, we'll edit it. We'll try to lock it. First, it won't let us do it. Second, it pops up a none rad tooltip. That'll need to be fixed. Same problem with an unemployed period. Click to lock it, none tooltip, and it won't lock. Requirement 5. If the reason for an unemployed period is null, it should not be allowed to be locked. When you click the lock button, instead of saying null, it should say, before locking unemployed period, please provide a reason for the unemployed period. Requirement 6. Do not allow a non-trucking position to be locked unless there is at least a company name. So when you click the lock, instead of saying none, it'll say, please, or it'll say, this non-trucking position cannot be locked until at least a company name is provided. Requirement 7. Okay, this is just a aesthetic thing that annoys me. When you're adding, now watch this label, I want to enter in hired in this panel here. We choose a trucking job, and then we choose this is a past job or whatever. No problem. We change it to an unemployed or a non-trucking position, a past job, and this whole thing moves over. I believe if you fix one of the columns that these labels are in, if you fix the width, it won't jump anymore. I want to get rid of the jumping. Just to show again, change it back to trucking job, and it jumps way over this way. Really annoys me. You may have to play with the page a little to get it right. Okay, another tooltip issue. This is requirement 8, I believe. Whenever a tooltip pops up on this page and you close the page, the tooltip should be hidden. Now, if you're going to write really slick code, you'll check to see if the tooltip is open before you hide it. However, I'm not sure that's really necessary. Spend 15 minutes trying to figure that out. If you can't, just hide it even if it's already hidden, and we'll only fix it if it produces an error. Let me remind you, this is for all tool tips on the RAD window. Requirement 9. When you open any of these pages, you notice that the tabs are really kind of squished over here. But if you open up a trucking job page, we have 3 tabs. What I would like you to do is set the tabs so they look as if they're justified. We can't fully justify them because of a telleric error, so you'll just give it a width so that they take up the whole horizontal space up here. I just like that style, and it will allow us to a bigger target for people to click on. I like that as well. Keep in mind, of course, that when you open RAD windows that are not trucking jobs, some black space will remain because one of the tabs will be missing. That's fine. Okay, for requirement 10, you're going to need to be a little careful, but we need to get your lat long stuff working. Okay, use only carriers that have the name XYZ team in them because they're all my test carriers. Okay, when you edit them, you really need to put a real address in to get a good test. This is my home address, so I just put it in. Ooh, wonder why that's happening. We'll get to that later. Okay, so I put my home address in, so somewhere after all these are updated, your lat long should be updated in the system. What I prefer you do is you get the lat longs when I hit the save button. Don't do it any other time so we're not constantly running that code underneath the page. Okay, so make the change so that it's only under the save button. Then when you click save, this is what happens. In the code behind, there's this fsave function. Okay, right now I've hard-coded the lat longs to 0. There's a full post back here, so you should be able to reference whatever hidden fields you put your lat longs in. Okay, and you'll load the lat longs here in the code behind. Okay, requirement 11. The DOT number doesn't work at all anymore. Watch, I'll put anything in. Blank tooltip, plus it erases it anyway. The MC number has the same problem. Any MC number that you put in, well, I guess it doesn't erase the MC number, but it does pop a blank tooltip. The next requirement is that if you do a really short MC number, it still runs the check. But it's bad news. So I'll let this run for a minute. Oh, actually it didn't happen this time. But sometimes what it's doing, oh I see, watch this. It takes every carrier in the whole system that does not yet have an MC number and puts it in here, which is not what we want. So please only run the MC number check if the number portion of here is greater than 3 characters. So 1, 2, 3, check. Oops, didn't like that one at all, did it? 1, 2, 3, enter. There we go. Okay.